here's my review of How to Train Your Dragon. Now, I thought, honestly, this movie was great. It is what a lot of people say. This is a one-to-one remastered, really no changes at all. And because of that, it's great. A lot of people sometimes with these live action remakes, obviously on the Disney side of things, people get mad at some of the changes they make. And this one is just extremely faithful. That's why it's kind of difficult to talk about because it's just the first movie again, which is a great movie. There's still, of course, it follows beat by beat. Hiccup meeting Toothless. That's a very fun scene. And this whole movie is fun. It is also it's just a gorgeous movie to look at. I thought visually it's just incredible. And like the cinematography and just the visuals of this movie is just gorgeous. They're always beautiful to look at. And this is a very beautiful film. And Gerard Butler as Stoic the Vast is just, I mean, obviously he's great in the original, in the animated movies, and he's great in this live action. And like I said, this movie, it's just the original again, but it's great. I think that the performances are all fantastic. I think that the visuals are great. It's such a fun movie. But because it is so faithful, it's like there's not really much more that it brings. But because, like I said, it doesn't bring much, but that means it's a great movie. Because when you're remaking a great movie and it's still just the same thing, you're going to get what you got. It's great. I've seen some of you say, oh, it's great, but it's just why watch this over the original? Well, it's like, it's just a different experience seeing it in live action. It's like, you could really watch either. Like, I think I prefer the animated one because I just like animation, but this is still a great, fantastic, and fun movie. And another thing with this live action adaptation is it feels almost grander because it's one thing seeing a giant battle in animation and just this animated setting, but seeing it in live action, seeing these real boats, these costumes, these actors, these characters, it's just like a different experience, even though it's the same movie. I will say though, like when it comes to some of the side characters, like characters like Rough Nut and Tough Nut, like they're not nearly as fun as they were in the original because when you do an animated movie, it almost gets away with being sillier. But because it's live action, like some of the characters maybe aren't completely themselves. Like I said, especially Rough Nut and Tough Nut. But the flying sequences are just pretty breathtaking to look at. They're always just gorgeous. It's a very grand movie. It feels big when you watch it. Like you feel like, wow, this was meant to see on the big screen. And that's what makes it so great is just this giant adventure movie just with amazing characters. Although some of the minor changes just kind of bothered me a little personally. Like the character of Hiccup, right? Here, like in the original animated movie, he kind of feels like meek and like just kind of pathetic, but in a charming way. But like he's weak here, but it just doesn't really come across just as much because of his voice. And I still think that Mason Thames is great as Hiccup. I think that all the performances are very good. But it's just that more of that real key characteristic, it just doesn't, it's still there. It's not like they took it out. It just doesn't feel as impactful as it did in the original movie. And another thing just they really play into is just like because the CGI is so good in this movie, a lot of it it's just like, aw, like Hiccup Toothless is just such a cute dragon to look at. Like, but it also feels like you're in awe because of just how great the CGI is. And I think they do a really good job of just building up till we finally actually see him and where it attacks him and before he eventually befriends it. And they just did such a great job. And I will also say, just like the ending battle of this movie feels so grand. It feels like this slow build up when they're going through the water, when they finally find where the dragons live, and Stoic just being this very stoic character. It just feels like you're anticipating just a dragon attack. And when we see the actual giant dragon, it's just like breathtaking. It's great because it's just this slow build up. You see broken boats and they're in the fog, and just seeing all these actors and seeing just like this Viking wear is just so just breathtaking. At least to me. I just found it just be like from a visual point, it's like it just kind of had that extra impact. And one of the reasons I think this movie succeeds so well, like I keep saying, is just because of its faithfulness. If you liked the original movie, you're going to like this. I've seen some people say, "Oh, this is stupid. Like, why? If it's literally just a 1-to-1." But it's like, well, isn't that what you want? Like, I don't really understand the criticism. It's because then when Disney changes stuff, then they'll complain they change it, and then if it's the exact same, they'll be like, it's just the exact. So it's just a weird middle ground. Like, I think that this movie, just like the original, is a great movie. Like, I wouldn't say I still haven't even seen the original three. I've seen the first two, but like that movie I think is great, but it's like not one that I personally hold like near and dear to my heart, like as one of my favorite movies or favorite animated movies even. But it's just a great movie. And here, when you redo a great movie, the exact same, just in live action, it's still gonna be a great movie. So I just kind of find like some of the I haven't really been seeing hate, but just some people are calling this movie pointless. And I get it, but at the same time, it's like you're still gonna get a good movie if you go to watch it. So I don't really see the problem. Also, I think that Astrid as a character got a little bit more fleshed out here, even though she doesn't necessarily look like Astrid from the animated movies. I didn't really mind it. She still acts like her, and I really like just how much she almost like pressures like Hiccup. Like she could tell he's hiding something, and I like her character. She's great here, as are all the characters. So the performances are just great, as well as the costume design and set design. The CGI is great, and Hiccup, or keep getting a hiccup, Toothless is awesome and just a very cute, and although he can still be very intimidating just at times, and it's all just done so well. So I kind of want to just kind of end my review around here because this kind of feels like just a weird review for me because it is so 1-to-1, the exact same thing. Because it is just still the same thing, 1-to-1. You're going to get a great movie if you watch this. I would say it is a great movie. And as someone who is not like just a huge, massive fan of the original, I thought it was good. And yeah, I kind of want to just end this review here just because I don't really have much things to say because it really is just a 1-to-1 remake, but just in live action. So yeah, if you like that and it looks interesting, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I thought it was pretty great.